The helmet has different blades and scissors, all working at the same time. By placing it on your head, it will start automatically cutting your hair. This technology is very accurate, As he approaches the escalator, he presses a special button. This causes the wheelchair to attach itself to the escalator. You see, the chair's wheels are too smooth, and they might slip into the stairs' gaps. Thanks to this excellent system, even wheelchair
He saw the sign at the cave entrance called the Satan's Bar. Soviet soldiers would intentionally place grenades inside a regular glass during the First World War. You see, by removing the pin and placing the grenade in the glass, it doesn't explode. Then add lemon juice and vodka. Finally, shake hard for a perfect Moscow meal. Soviet soldiers would intentionally place grenades inside a regular glass during the First World War. You see, by removing place the bees in the fridge until they stop moving. Then, slice a matchstick in half and glue a paper-thin wing across the top. Add tiny drops of glue to the wing, one for each bee. Then, stick the bees on by their bellies, all pointing in the same direction. Make a warm fart.
If an elephant drinks water, can you block the flow with a giant cork? You would need one about 13 inches in diameter, which might be tied with a rope. So, if the elephant drinks 50 caliber.
If you accidentally swallow a tooth, it goes into your stomach where a machine duplicates it. Then your intestines put all the teeth in order and give you the ability to eat with your. His dingling fell off, so he decided to build one with Lego. You see, when he was born, his limbs fell off due to a rare condition. Luckily, he was a reptilian, so they grew back after a short while. But that didn't work for his Skibidi. He spent days building it and accidentally added some hyper-fast missile. If your key breaks inside the lock, take a lighter and some TNT. Now, with the other person's help in the room, pass everything under the door and ask them to light it. Finally, you just have to wait. Some people intentionally remove their toenails before a marathon. This is done because when you run for many hours straight, your toenails repeatedly hit the front of your shoe, which can be painful. Some extreme runners even remove skin and muscle to increase friction. Some people intentionally remove their toenails before a marathon. This is done because when you run for many hours straight, your toenails repeatedly hit the front of your shoe, which can be painful. Some extreme runners even remove skin and muscle to increase friction. Some people intentionally remove their toenails before a marathon. This is done because when you run for many hours straight, your toenails repeatedly hit the front of your shoe, which can be painful. Some extreme runners even remove skin and muscle to increase friction. Some people intentionally remove their toenails before a marathon. This is done because when you run for many hours straight, your toenails repeatedly hit the front of your shoe, which can be painful. Some extreme runners even remove skin and muscle to increase friction. If you fire a bazooka, could you catch the rocket by going at the same speed? Well, you would have to run at over 183 miles per hour and grab it from the front, but this might be very hard. Instead, you can overtake and grab it with your ass. A cat fell from a building and landed on a criminal who was robbing an old woman. The impact made him pull the trigger, hitting a bus driver who then crashed into some scaffolding. A worker fell, an elderly man had a heart attack from the shock, but at least the old lady was safe. He was forced to reveal the PIN code of his safe at gunpoint, but as the robber entered the code and opened the safe, a hidden string pulled the trigger, activating an unbeatable security. He was forced to How many iPhones Negamax would it take to reach your height? Let's assume that the new model is 8.75 millimeters thick, and you are about 5.9 feet tall. Stacking them one by one, you would need about He stops you in a dark alley and asks you to choose between two pills. The blue one will give you eternal life, but you will be poor. The red one will make you rich, but you will fart out of your mouth every time you speak. Let's imagine you choose the blue one. So now, excuse me? What the hell is going on? If you shoot a bullet at an atomic bomb, most people think it will cause it to explode. But that's not the case. Instead, swallow the atomic bomb, and after just 5 minutes, you could have a lobotomy. If he missed the ball, the bat flew out of his hands and hit a guy in the stands. Luckily, he was fine, and he challenged the player. If you hit the pitch I'm about to throw, you don't pay for the damage.
He didn't know the guy was actually a baseball legend, so he threw a 36 M British.
He missed. Have you ever wondered where your poop goes when you flush the toilet on an airplane? Many people think it gets sucked and dropped straight out of the plane, but that's not true. You see, if you flush the toilet while still sitting down, you could give yourself a perfect prolapse. They start by placing several metal rings around their necks. Many people think this stretches the neck, but that's not true. The rings actually press down the shoulders and chest, making the neck look longer. In their culture, a longer-looking neck is often considered a symbol of... If you tear your fingernail like this, you may experience severe pain. Instead, tie a knot in some string, attach it to a door, and make sure it opens outward. Now, when someone opens the door, if you lose a tooth, the dentist can replace it with a gold one. It may seem expensive, but gold is incredibly hard. It also doesn't corrode like other metals, so it lasts a long time. But if you smile at the wrong... If you put a hamster in a wheel, how many would it take to power the Statue of Liberty for one night? The statue uses about 96 lamps, each of 1,000 watts. A single hamster running for 12 hours straight might produce about 0.1 watt. So, to light the statue, if you put the Scrub Ditty in a bowl with water and sugar for about 2 minutes. Then take the sponge and put it in the freezer overnight to make it hard. Finally, take it out of the freezer and attach it to a hook. Now your bait will be perfect for fishing. Start by tying a piece of string around a rat. Then attach it to a toy car. Place a stick with some cheese dangling from it and tie it to the car with some tape. The mouse will smell the cheese and be attracted to it, causing the monster truck to move forward. If you poured every bottle of Coca-Cola into one container, how big would it have to be? Coca-Cola manufactures around 200,000 bottles every minute. Over a year, that adds up to a volume of more than 52 million cubic meters. That's around the size of 20 Great Pyramids of Giza. And somehow, that still wouldn't be enough to quench the thirst of the average Mexican. Finnish parents often let their babies nap outdoors, even at -10 degrees Celsius. While they stay inside enjoying coffee, the infants rest in their strollers in the crisp winter air. This long-standing Finnish practice is believed to boost immunity, improve sleep, and turn the newborn into a giant snooze. If you collected every booger you ever made, how big would the final ball be? A single booger is about the size of a sesame seed and weighs roughly 50 milligrams. So if you picked one a day for 80 years, you'd end up with a basketball-sized blob weighing around 2.2 pounds. Unfortunately, by that point, it's no longer possible to eat. If you collect touching an Australian stinging tree is a mistake you won't forget.